Hi everybody. I wasn't certain if I was going to be able to do a video today, and I'm pretty excited about it. And this is a story about when I was 17, I believe, or possibly 18. I really can't remember the age. There's a lot in my life that I just can't recall for some reason, and then there's a lot that I can recall. Um, and it's really weird, but sometimes it comes back to me when it's necessary. But so I became kind of ill during this time frame, and it was my heart. For some reason, and out of the blue, my heart began to pound in my chest so fiercely that my entire body would just shake. And it really frightened my mom. It frightened me because I didn't know what was happening to me. I really felt that I was going to die. I mean, the pounding was so fierce. I mean, really so fierce. You can just see me, constantly shaking and shaking. And we would go to the doctors, and then nothing would pop up. The heart monitor machines would never show this intense pounding, or my heart just kind of like stopping sometimes in mid beat and make me like gasp for breath. But there was this one night that I was sleeping, and whether it was a dream or um, I convinced myself throughout my entire life that this was just a dream. But I know now, especially in this past year, that I've been waking up to um, my truth as my higher self, and I understand other aspects of what takes place through our awakening process, that I was physically dying during this time. Luckily, I would have done so in my sleep. But during my sleep, um, again, whether it was the dream or not, I was being lifted on this cloud of complete whiteness. And I mean, it was so white, so white that I shouldn't be able to see anything. And I was just floating on this bed of whiteness, and I felt such great peace. A peace that I've never experienced prior to that moment in my young life. A peace that I've always craved and knew existed. Um, and I was surrounded by these faces, these people, and I couldn't see their bodies or anything like that because everything was so bright. But I saw their faces, and it was as if they had white hair. Um, and their faces were just beautiful and young. I don't know who they were, but I felt, again, at peace with who they were. And I just kept looking at each and every one of them who surrounded me. And I knew that I was safe and protected and loved. And they would look at me and then look back at each other. Um, and all of a sudden, I was being awoken to my name, and, you know, to my mom shaking me. And she told me that she could hear my bed rails banging on the walls because of my heart. It was so fierce and so strong that my entire bed was shaking. And she heard it in the other room where they were sleeping that night. So I know my mom woke me from possibly going to heaven that night or going back home to where I belonged. Um, I don't know if that really happened, or if that was the case, but today that's what I believe. That's what my I have always believed in my heart, but I've never actually voiced that before. A few times previously this year I have, but when we wake up, um, even before we're aware that we are waking up, we have these energy vortexes within our bodies, and people call them chakras, but they are real energy vortexes. And mine was just my heart chakra was opening up, and I think it was opening up so quickly, possibly so so quickly and so fiercely that it was causing me death. And so I just don't know if my mom was meant to save me and bring me back, because I kind of think that as well too, because I know what my purpose is in life, and my purpose is great, and I wasn't meant to pass on. And perhaps, my loved ones who in heaven were trying to um, heal me as well and send me back home, but it was cut off again by my mom waking me up. And you know, I have held um, that sadness I held for a very long time. Um, and I kind of held it against my mom. I was infuriated with her for waking me up, because even at the young age of 17 or 18, whatever age it was, I lived a very sad life. I was alone. I felt alone. And a lot of bad things happened to me during my young childhood and in adolescence. And I felt lost and alone in this world. And I wanted to go. I wanted to go. And I felt such peace. And my mom stole that from me. I felt all of those years, that my mom stole it from me. Um, but as I have been waking up to my awareness of my waking up process this year, I'm being given back that peace that I felt that very night. It's not exactly like it yet, but I'm pretty darn close. And I am extremely happy with my life. And I know that if I'm happy now, my life moving forward can be even greater, because I am moving towards my purpose instead of staying stuck in my past. But again, what I'm trying to really say, I guess, is that, and it's not to frighten anybody, when our chakras become activated, it can happen so quickly. And I have read certain stories where people have, you know, um, lost their lives due to it. But again, modern science or the medical community, they don't understand what it is and what's taking place. And it's not anything, again, to be frightened of, that when it does take place, it's still a beautiful thing. But it isn't beautiful when you don't understand it. That's the issue, the misunderstanding of what is happening to you. Um, and it's still a beautiful thing. My heart chakra still opens more and more every day. Sometimes I feel it. Sometimes I feel the palpitations, and sometimes I feel it stop. And then sometimes I feel it go and go and go again. And it will always open. They will always move and move and move and activate more, because God's light is always radiating down into us and giving us more of his beauty in life. So we have 7 main chakras, and if they are not moving properly, if they are dormant, that's when we lay within what they call the ego self, or the human living within the flesh. Um, and we can't have the beauty and the heaven here on earth that God always speaks about. So that's just a little bit about my story about when my heart chakra was first opening up. Um, so, the process of my purpose has always been trying to come to me. And the pieces and pieces are finally making sense to me as I continuously move into my purpose and my path. And I just want you guys to look forward to it. This is Christy. Much love, health, and healing your way. I am bringing purpose to your life. Take care.